Yeah, I'm gonna start sharing right now. I'm just gonna update my bio real quick for those on Instagram. If I can figure out how to do this. Sorry guys, we're just gonna wait for some more people to join. And then what's up guys? Just waiting up for some more people to join, and I'll start in a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, guys. So this is TT Modding Live, Season 1, Episode 4. Timmy Parker on Facebook, PC Werkz on Instagram, and if you guys want to follow my business page on Facebook also. So basically what I'm going to do is kind of review basic motherboard setup with all basic thermaltake products from CPU cooler to RAM and things of that sort. So things I will be reviewing, just the UX100 kind of basic air CPU cooler, UX200, which is more of a like radiator type air cooled fan CPU cooler also. Then I'll jump into the AIO, which is not in the box, it's actually down here, but I'll jump into the AIO, kind of how to install that, and then jumping over into the W5 CPU cooler. So this is where we're talking full custom loop, so water cooling for you water cooling enthusiasts out there. So and then I'll also be going through the regular tough RAM. So I'll be installing that and showing you guys how it looks, and then also going through the water RAM and doing installation on that and showing you guys how it looks. So everybody good? Everybody can hear me? Hey uncle, hi to my wife, she's actually on too. Hi to everybody out there. So just so you guys know, there will be a giveaway at the end. I'm not going to tell you what the giveaway is yet, but just make sure that you're paying attention. So I'll most likely just ask a question at the end, and based off of that question and based off whoever answers first and answers correctly, then Thermaltake will be giving away something at the end. I'll end up telling you guys what that is closer to towards the end. So behind me, this is like my streaming setup that I have right here. So I'm actually streaming from this computer here, which is the Thermaltake A700 with basically the Thermaltake 1050 watt PF1, the new ARGB power supply, the Thermaltake Tough RAM, the new DP100 distro plate, have the Ring Trio 20s and then the Ring Trio 12s and then a Ring Trio 14 in the back. So pretty much all Thermaltake stuff in here, with the exception of like the CPU or the GPU blocks and things of that sort. So hopefully you guys like that kind of basic setup that I have right here. So jumping into the UX100. So just looking at, I'm basically do a unboxing of this. So this is just a basic CPU cooler, almost something that would like come with like AMD or something like that, but it does have RGB on it. So in installation, it comes with this mounting bracket that actually mounts to the motherboard, and then you have the CPU cooler that actually mounts here, that will then cool off the CPU here. So just to let me get some of the pieces that fell out. So what I have here, guys, this is just a Z370 MSI Z370 gaming M5 motherboard. This is not actually a motherboard that I use. It's on my testing bench. So when I'm making sure that stuff works before my builds, this is kind of just my test bench motherboard. So I have basic NVMe in here, and then there's an i5 8600K CPU in there. So installation with the UX100, basically you want to start off with the mounting bracket for the CPU, or for the motherboard, I'm sorry. And then you have these little clips here that actually go into slots. And if you guys are familiar with motherboard setup, this is an 1151 CPU socket. So let me get that all set up. What's up, King's Mod? Trying to look at all the messages. Hey, Ronil from the Philippines. How's it going, man? Appreciate you logging in. Appreciate the repost. So I'm just going through the setup, guys. Give me a second here. Sorry. It's just hard to see. Maybe I'll get this done. Maybe. Okay, cool. Got one side in. What's nice is about this, guys, is the UX100 and the UX200 actually use the same mounting bracket, so that'll kind of save me time. So you guys aren't bored out of your mind trying to watch me do this. But give me. Ugh. This is not happening for me right now. Okay, just two more sides, guys. Sorry, I'm getting pop-ups on my computer. If anybody has any questions, like why I'm kind of going through this, just kind of let me know. But I'm not really a streamer, so this is kind of like my first time ever. So this mounting bracket, after you put the plastic pieces in here, kind of pushes into the 1151 slot. So kind of like so. Now it's secure on there, kind of good to go. And then there's on the motherboard. So just so you guys know, the motherboard doesn't have any power at all. So I'm not gonna ever power on the CPU. So the Thermaltake TG3 thermal paste, I would usually put that on, of course, and take off of this protective cover. But because it's not going to actually have power and it's not going to heat up, and it's more for me to kind of show you guys what's going on, I won't be installing that or putting that on. So let me see if I can kind of get this on here right now. Clip came out. Sorry guys, I'm not the best at this. Is anybody making fun of me yet? Yeah, it snaps in from the top side of the board, Brian, and then there's clips here. You just gotta make sure they're all the way in, and then there's clips here where it mounts in. So it's actually not in all the way, but I'm gonna try to attempt to get this in, guys, so you can kind of see how it looks. But I don't want to take too much time with it if I'm not able to do it right now. Yeah, because it wants to keep popping out over here. Guess I'm not good at air coolers, guys. Yeah, it's yeah, this is not working for me, guys. Sorry. I might just have to so this same thing with the so the same mounting bracket that I have here is the same mounting bracket that's going to go for the UX 200 also. So they use that same kind of mount from the top, and then yeah, this thing might be my motherboard or something, but it's not going in. So I'll basically, what I'll do, guys, is I'm just going to show you kind of how it is after it's all lit up, because I don't want to take forever on that. But so usually what this would do is it would mount here. You know, it's usually kind of self-explanatory as far as the mounting bracket, but it mounts here like that. It's kind of low profile, so if you guys are into that ITX builds and things of that sort, mini form factor stuff. So, and the motherboard has power, so we'll just plug it in here, and then I'm just gonna kind of show you guys. So sorry that it's not actually mounted, guys, but it'll basically look something like that. So this is also the same thing that the 1050 with that's in there. It's just mounted sideways for this one, so it'll pretty much look like that. Once the mounting mechanism is done, I might have something going on with my motherboard, and the plugs won't actually stick in there. So really awesome looking. It does have the ARGB stuff on it also, if you wanted to like sync it with your motherboard. So the people that have the newer Z390 boards and the newer AMD boards, X570, X470 stuff. So really awesome looking. Sorry that it's not mounted in its the actual way it's supposed to, but you guys kind of get the gist of it. And then what I also do, this is more for that basic builder I would say, in my opinion, someone that's first starting out. You know, you might be getting not so much of a lower end CPU, but not something that's too high end. You might not be doing too much overclocking. So kind of like the light modest gamer, someone that's maybe browsing, maybe light streaming, things of that sort. So pack that up there. And then I'm just gonna open the box real quick on the UX 200 just so you guys can check it out and see it. Yeah, 2080 Ti is that's expensive. I mean, when those first came out, I was like crazy. So I actually got a 2070, which I was really happy with, and then I got a deal, and this is actually a 2080 here, iconic. So so this is, guys, is the UX 200. I kind of already put it together just for like ease and not to take too long on everything. But with the UX 200, it's the same kind of style. It's not going to be that low profile effect, so it's going to be stick out a little bit farther. Of course, because of the radiator, and then you have the pipes that are leading down to the CPU cooler. So the same thing, this will mount like this. I don't want to attempt to do it just because these aren't sticking in the way they're supposed to, but yeah, it'll mount just like that. And then I'll show you same thing. I think this is actually the same, almost the same exact fan on this one. So give me a second here. Let me turn that off before I fry myself. And usually, guys, like when I'm doing my builds, I actually usually have some kind of anti-static strap of some sort, just to make sure I'm not frying stuff. In this case, like I said, this is just a test board, so it's not that big of a deal to me. So, but you know, to not mess anything up, you usually want to have some kind of anti-static mat or board or chain or whatever your case may be. So let me turn this back on. Move my hand. And then same kind of concept, guys. So this would mount like that. So great looking RGB, you know, great looking product. Same thing, this will sync. You got the thermal take on the side. So definitely would recommend this. And then, I mean, with the price point, I mean, you really can't beat it. I think it's like 40 or 50 bucks on Amazon. So, or TT Premium, of course, Thermaltake website. So, you know, definitely check that out. So, moving on, let me turn this off real quick. How much time do we have left? Hopefully I'm not taking too much time. And hopefully you guys aren't bored out of your mountain. Hey, designs by IF. Oh my god. Like, that's like my idol right there. You guys should definitely go check him out. He does crazy YouTube videos and crazy work, and you know, definitely someone that can teach you a whole lot when it comes to modding, when it comes to ideas, when it comes to I don't know. You have a really good vision, designed by the IFR, so you know, I watch your videos a lot. Refill coolant. Coolant in where? Oh, in my computer. If you're talking about my computer, I refill mine once a month. I don't really refill it. I guess I have to, like, I take out the old and put in the new. Kind of like recycling out and putting in new fluid, but I don't know. It depends. Like sometimes, you know, I go with colored fluid. Sometimes I go with just all clear. Sometimes, honestly, I go with just distilled water. But it just totally depends on kind of how I'm feeling at the time. So, but to jump into, this is the C360 or AIO, right? Yes, so this is the C360 AIO. So Full disclaimer, guys. I apologize. I went to open this up today, and all of the mounting stuff for the motherboard, same kind of situation that I had earlier, wasn't working out, and I'm not sure if it's my motherboard or whatever the case may be. So I kind of figured out a jimmy rig around it right now, so I can kind of still show you guys how it looks and how that kind of is gonna go. But let me do this first. I'm actually going to put in. So this is the Thermaltake Tough RAM. So I'm gonna go ahead and install that first, and then I'll install the AIO so you guys can kind of check that out. Try to make sure I don't miss any questions, but once a month really, holy crap, I do. I wouldn't say you're waiting too long. Mine's more of a like personal preference, to be honest with you. So in mounting the Tough RAM, you're just gonna have the TT portion is gonna be down. I usually like to do the bottom first and then come up to the top. Just hold, snap in, good to go. So, but yeah, I wouldn't say that 4 months is too long. I know people do like years, and I've seen, just like Jay's 2 cents had his for like 3 years or something like that. So I wouldn't say it's too long. Mine's just kind of like, I try to game a lot, and then I see like my temps rising, and I don't know if it has any correlation or any relation to my fluid, but I just decided to change it. So a lot of times I run clear also, so then you don't have to change it that much or that often, because I feel like the clear doesn't get as clunky as some of the colored stuff, but just totally depends. Honestly, I think it's more personal preference than anything. So Tough RAM installed here. I have the AIO here. So what you guys can see in the back, these are the Thermaltake Ring Trio fans. Came out earlier this year, or actually in 2020. Sorry, earlier last year. So great looking fan. Of course, RGB on the inside, RGB on the outside, and then RGB on the back side. So definitely like my go-to fan. This or the Ring Duo. I was a really huge, for you modders from before. I was a really huge Ring Plus fan. Then the Pure Plus came out, of course, and then we went to the Ring Duo, Ring Trio. So this is kind of like my go-to fan now, just because of the ease of use and the amount of different options it gives you to do different colors and different setups, and kind of configure each LED. So kind of with the software and everything. So so what I'm gonna do here, guys, don't do this at home, but I'm actually going to use the mounting plate that comes with the W5 for this. I know some of you at home that are serious modders are like, what the? I kind of got it to work, so I'm gonna do that for you guys right now, and so you guys can check it out. And then I'll hopefully because this is a Core P5, I was looking for a Core P3 to do this actual live stream, but the Core P5 is not really meant for an AIO. It's more meant for full custom loop, so it doesn't really fit. Like the AIO doesn't really fit as far as mounting. I can probably stretch it out and maybe get a couple of screws in there so you guys can see how it works, but really, like if you're looking at an AIO setup with an open chasis type thing, so either P1, P3, P5, you probably want to go with anything that's P5 and up. You probably want to go with full custom loop and see like a W5 cooler or a W4 cooler, only because like it's not really designed for an AIO setup. So but let me get this screws and stuff out. Anybody asking any questions? Happy New Year, guys. I know some of you are GMT time. It's like 10 o'clock at night here. I'm in San Diego, California. I would say sunny California, but it's been raining a lot lately. I don't like it. So this is just a plate. Like I said, this will be for the W5 eventually, but I'm going to use this same plate to kind of jimmy rig and work for this because it's the same kind of 1151 mounting holes. And when I say 1151, that's the CPU mounting. This is a CPU socket that it's using, and then this is the Intel board. So basically you just have different holes here, and in the different holes here that you have, you're just going to fit the screw through based off of what type of board you have. So once I've done that, then I can just go through and put it here. If I can get this to work. Okay, cool. So with that, as you can see, or can you guys see? Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay on my screen, so sometimes I don't know how far I am ahead. But so that'll go here. You'll take these screws, this kind of like screws onto here, and you're just gonna kind of just screw it down until it's nice and firm against the motherboard. I know these are metal screws, or yeah, probably metal screws. They do have a plastic washer on their back, so it won't like short out your motherboard. So that's cool that it's kind of already on there, and you don't have to worry about or think about like putting that on there, and you did it, and your motherboard blows up and smokes in front of you after you got done with your custom loop. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that question about my motherboard, but yeah. Or, I'm sorry, with the power supply. 1:27 a.m.? Oh, you must be like, what, East Coast? Or maybe Canada? Maybe you guys are in Canada? I don't know. So, just getting this on here, guys, real quick. Sorry. If you guys have any questions right now, like, let me know. Let me check my phone. Andy might be yelling at me. So yeah, so this screws down onto here. I got one more left somewhere. Sorry, my glasses are falling. Making sure. Oh, East Coast, nice. Awesome. Probably cold out there, huh? I can't wait to install my TT fans with my water cooling kit. Nice. Hey, make sure you guys check out the View 51 that came out today. I have no words for that case. It's honestly amazing. It's like everything I've ever wanted in a case, and they just launched it. So I have it up on my Instagram. Of course, Thermaltake has posted it on Thermaltake Technology Facebook. So make sure you guys check that out. It's an awesome looking case. It's incredible, honestly. All right, so with that mounted there and my little jimmy rig that I have going on, so pretty much it's the same kind of concept with the actual mounting plate for the AIO, which is a 360. There is a clip, which is this on the top, a mounting bracket on the top, and then a clip on the bottom. So you basically cover up the pump, and then this clips down, and you can snap this together. What's good about it is you see how it has to go like this. So this can actually turn, so you can actually mount depending on how you want to kind of configure your setup. Sometimes when you're trying to, say you come from the bottom and you're trying to angle it or something like that, so you can kind of like turn this so you can still have the TT straight. I've always kind of liked my TT angled. I don't know, I'm weird. But let's see if I can get this to work. Oh, cool, see? So it pretty much goes like that. Like I said, this is not the actual mounting mechanism for the AIO. but it's very, very similar. It's like very similar. I guess this is like modding, right, guys? I don't know if this counts as modding. Hopefully it does. Texas. I'll be out in Texas in April for MotoGP. So my first passion, guys, is like motorcycle racing. So if you MotoGP, I don't know if you have any motorcycle fans out there, but like we go to Texas every year to watch GP in Austin. Alright, so I'm basically just gonna put that right there. It's more for show, guys. It's not like trying to do the full setup. I'm not gonna plug the actual pump in, but this is just a 3-pin fan connector that will power your pump. This is for the block. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it here. So this is the controller that you use for all of your RGB, and it has the USB type plug that'll come over here. So I'm gonna run all these cables to the back. Let me see if I can even make this work over here at all. Probably not. No. So I'll just kind of hold it, guys, but let's see. So, this, like Eric, I don't know if you guys watched, the season 3 or episode 3. So Eric, same thing. When you're plugging in the fans and stuff to the controller, you want to do the fans first, and then do like the water blocks and the lighting strips and anything like that. You want to do all that last. The reason being is when you're going into the software will only let you do, how do I explain this, like what the first controller is doing. So for example, some of the LED strips only have maybe like 9 LEDs, so you would only be able to configure the 9 LEDs. So when you're trying to do all of the other ones where the fan has 9 on each side and everything, what happens is it kind of conflicts and it doesn't let you adjust everything right. So it's easier to do the one that has the most in the beginning, and then everything else at the end. On mine and on this, everything is pretty much synced. So it's like one button I can change all the colors. So if you guys are familiar with that. But yes, and I'll also sync Mystic Light too. Unfortunately, this doesn't have. This is a Z370 board, so I don't have the. Do I have the? Yeah, I don't think I have the ARGB 12 volt or 5 volt plug on this one. This is actually, this board here is the Z390 Gaming Edge AC. Or, no, this is the Meg board, I'm sorry. This is the Meg board, the one that's right below the Godlike board. So this board actually has the ARGB plugs, and then I can kind of sync ARGB sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Mystic Light gets weird sometimes. So, but yeah, that's all plugged in, guys. Let me go ahead and power that on so you guys can kind of see. And so that's kind of the setup. So, like I said, TT controller here. You would then have a plug that would go from the TT controller into one of your USB headers on the motherboard. That would allow you to sync with the software. Once you're synced with the software, then you can kind of play with all the different colors and change all the different lights and all that good stuff. So, yeah, that's. I mean, this is a great setup for, I would say, the above average gamer. Someone that's going to be maybe with the turbo overclock. Someone with you know, that maybe you have a high ambient air temperature in the room, things of that sort. This was kind of my first setup I had. I had a P3 setup with an AIO. Absolutely loved it. Was so scared to get into water cooling, and I thought I was gonna flood my whole bedroom, but realized now that you know, with certain things that you have, water cooling is actually not that bad. So it's pretty easy for me to kind of go ahead and do water cooling now, but maybe not as easy as people like Designs by IFR and JP Modified and, you know, Eric Bergquist from Canada, but, you know, I do my best. So, but yeah, we're cutting it close. All right, so let me unplug all of this real quick, and then I'll get into our last setup, which this is going to be more of, and I don't want to say advanced setup, but this is going to be more for the like above average, maybe pro type style gamer where you're getting into full water cooling, full custom loop, and you need to do, you know, serious cooling on your CPU. So, any questions? Sorry, I haven't been looking. Yeah, the fans are amazing. Like, when these fans came out, I was just like, wow, like, you outdid yourself, Thermaltake. Outdid yourself. Alright, so let's see here. So usually I do a better job at kind of putting everything away, but because we're limited on time, I'm just gonna kind of throw everything down here and go on to the next. So, all right, so this is gonna be the W5 CPU cooler. This is full custom. This is gonna be full custom loop. Either using the standard G and a quarter sockets. You can do either hard tube or soft tube depending on the fittings that you have. But so in this case, it's going to be the same kind of concept where you have your CPU. In this case, I would peel this off, of course, and then that's going to go kind of there like so. So let me get this off here so I can kind of, sorry guys, have my trusty scissors right here. Is the RGB mat something we can buy? So this mat, guys, is actually the Thermaltake Battle Station. This is actually a full desk, and the desk actually goes up and down. Let me see if I can kind of show you here. I don't know if you see that on TV at all, but it's a desk, and the desk actually goes up and down. So yeah. So then on the desk, this is actually, and I'll pull it up for you. This is the full mat that covers the whole desk. So you basically don't have to have your own mouse pad. This is a full mat that covers the whole desk. And then there's an RGB strip that goes around the whole desk also. This actually syncs to the same software. So like when I'm playing, I can actually put it on like temperature, for example, and as the temperature changes on my CPU and inside of my computer, it'll change the color of the fans and change the color of the desk. Same thing with my headset. Same thing with the level 20 keyboard. Same thing with the level 20 mouse. So I kind of have that all synced together. Call me a big nerd. Gaming monitor. This is actually an MSI gaming monitor. AG32C 32-inch 165 hertz curved monitor. So that's actually my gaming monitor. So same thing with the mounting of the AIO, guys. This is the CPU block. Same kind of layout as far as the mounting holes. So this is just going to go over the top like that. You're going to use the same mounting screws that you use, and they're kind of compression, so it has that spring kind of to give you that extra tension on it. So I'll put that in here. The desk, the last time I looked, quote me if I'm wrong, $1,200, I think. Definitely worth it. Definitely crazy heavy. The desk is made out of like all steel. So it was stupid heavy, and then it comes with quite a few parts to put everything together. But I mean, now that I have it, it's just the desk is amazing. Like I don't know what I would do without it. Yeah, that would be cool. Some external RGB strips, yeah. Yeah, like they have for like maybe Thermaltake. Maybe they need to make those little things that you hang up on the wall. What do they call them? The lights that everybody has now. And we can sync with like the RGB software. And maybe we could just get a really huge TT light that syncs with the software. Alright, so I won't tighten it up too tight. So this is just, like I said, guys, the W5 water block. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take out the tough RAM. Since we're going on our full custom loop build, I'll just stick the RAM in here for now. Probably not a great idea, but... And water RAM. Okay, so Thermaltake water RAM. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it. Some of you probably, of course, are. This is the 16 gigabyte kick, 2x8, 3200 megahertz. So, because it's already kind of taken apart for, like I said, ease of installation. But this is just the same standard USB plug that I'll plug into the box in the back. And then this is the actual RAM itself. So if you guys want to like take a look at that in all of its glory. On the top here, you're going to have mounting holes. And the mounting holes I'll eventually in a second show you what those mounting holes are for. So it does come in a 32 gigabyte set, so 4x8, and it does go up to, I believe, 3600 megahertz for yours of you that need all of that. So same thing, it's just going to snap in. Of course, on motherboard setup, if you have 4 slots and you're only using 2, they're going to go in the first and the third slot. Otherwise, you're going to run into issues. So that goes like so. Once that's in, then you have the actual cooling plate. So this is the actual cooling plate that has the RGB lighting around it, and then the G and a quarter plugs on the top. So with the G and a quarter plug, I have somewhere here. Okay, here. So, and same thing with this, guys. I'm not gonna put everything in, but I'm gonna try to show you as much as possible. So there is, what you do here is you just put it over the top, and then you're just gonna kind of run in like that. So let's see if I can get this in here. So kind of like so. So this would be, like I said, would be more of an advanced type of I guess board setup. This is going to be, it's still in the basic category, because you're not doing anything crazy where you're taking off the motherboard coolers and then you're doing like a full CPU cooler that would then cover like the MOSFETs and all that other good stuff. But great setup. So what I also want to do real quick here is I'll show you guys, let me throw this back in here real fast. is I'll kind of light it up for you. So this is gonna just have one plug to it. This will plug in here. Usually I would run this through here and make it look nice and clean, but for the sake of what we're trying to do here, I'm just gonna run it straight to the back. So same thing, these will plug straight into the controller. So here, and sorry if you guys are asking questions and I'm not paying attention. Terrified of going hardline, huh? I was terrified too, and I think the first time I did hardline, and I had everything plugged in, and I threw on the switch, and one of my fittings was leaking, but because I didn't tighten it, so it was my fault. So that's definitely something you want to do when you go with the hardline and the custom loop stuff. Is like because of JP Modified and his kind of review he did on one of the leak testers that he has, I use that same leak tester now. But prior to that, I was always kind of going over and reconfirming that I had everything tightened. So C-Pro fittings. Eric used this, I think, in episode 2 or possibly episode 3. I can't remember which one. So these are the Thermaltake C-Pro fittings. Probably the best in the business, guys. And I know I'm probably a little bit biased right now that I'm saying that, but literally probably some of the best in the business when you start to look at other different companies. And nothing bad about any of the other companies, but just the way that these fit and the way that they kind of snug onto everything, it's like it gives you that extra sense of kind of protection and yeah. So with this fitting, it's 4 parts. There's the base that actually is the G and a quarter slot that actually connects. Then you have the O-ring. You have the outer cap. Then you have the inner cap. So basically, what you do here is you put the G and a quarter on first. You know, well, at least I do. I know some people do it a little bit different, but and once you have that on, you can use the tool that Thermaltake gives you. If I can get it out of here, possibly. And this tool actually has a little bracket in there and little slots, and you can kind of turn it and tighten it. So I kind of just give it like a little bit of a tighten. There's actually a O-ring in the inside, so you don't need to tighten it too much, but just kind of enough. So you would then, you know what? Let me see if I have any PETG laying around. I don't have a short piece. That's okay. So you basically, what you would do is you take the rest of this. This would go, your tube would go inside of here. This would go onto the bottom of the tube, like so. And then you would screw this on here. And then you would just screw it all the way down. So that'll kind of give you that tight fit. And I'll just kind of put these in here so you guys can kind of get the visualization of how this would look. So there's that. And then same thing with here. And then of course over here you would have some sort of radiator with like fans, maybe a distro of some sort. Yeah. So get this last one on here maybe. Cool. This system is full. Awesome. Hair dryer. I guess you could bend the tube anywhere there was heat. I think this the more convenient way. I actually use not a hair dryer, but a heat gun. I think it's easier. It gives you the maneuverability to be able to do everything. I guess you could do like a stove or something like that. But because of how wide a stove is, you're going to get heat kind of throughout that tube and not maybe based in just one spot where you want to do a bend. So That might be a little bit difficult, but I mean, you could, anywhere there was heat, and you could definitely do it. So, yeah. Let me power this on real quick, guys, so you can kind of see that. So, same thing. Great looking RGB. So it matches up with kind of everything, and same thing, you'll be able to use the software to control, this if you didn't do it with the motherboard, so you can use the software for that, and then also, I'm sorry, not software for this, but the software for this stuff, ARGB for this, it comes with a plug, or you have this switch here in the back to change the different colors, so like, of course, whatever you wanted, so, but yeah, so, of course, once you're filling it up, you have Thermaltake gives you a nice kind of plug, so you would have your pump here or something like that, and you're squeezing and filling everything up, and there would go your loop. One of the things I use, guys, this is kind of my personal preference, is this. I find it a lot easier to use this over using this, because what happens is you're tending to and you're just kind of just spraying over and over, and I'm shooting water out, but you're spraying over and over, or you're squeezing over and over. Whereas when I use this, all I do is kind of suck out my fluid, and then I put it wherever the pump is at, and then you can just slowly just push in out how much you want. The other thing that's good about it is for those people that kind of run into that same issue where you're turning on the pump and turning off the pump and then adding more water, you can actually fill it up and then turn it on, and I actually just fill it up as the pump is going, so it makes it a lot easy. I don't know, that's kind of my little bit of a mod, but this is like a 200cc syringe, so it works really, really well. You could probably use 2 or 3 of these depending on how big your loop is, and it's like $6 on Amazon or something like that, so that's kind of my tip of the day for those of you that build and do a lot of water cooling. So I have not heard from Andy. How am I doing on time? Hold on, guys. Anybody have any questions before I do this giveaway? Sorry. Get back to the RGB. Okay, cool. I don't know if Andy's still there. So, in regards to everything that's here, like I said, there's Ring Duo here, Ring Trio, and then the UX 200, and then this is the power supply. So, right now, what we'll be doing, it's Amazon switch. I think there's a 250cc also, so just as a heads up, but it was taking too long for it to come, so I just ordered that one. But what we'll be giving away for those of you that stuck around forever, really appreciate it, is we are giving away the C360 AIO. I keep saying C360, but Flow 360. But I believe it's going to be the DX Flow 360. That is the ARGB version with the Ring Duo fans, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, sir. It's kind of basic compared to the things that you do, but I like it. 200 millimeter fans, it's the greatest. And as you guys can see here, I get really, really good temperature, so yeah, I'm gonna give away my PC, guys. I don't know about that shipping cost, because the shipping cost would probably be more than what the whole computer is worth, because this thing's like 100 pounds. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, so with that being said, let me see. I'm waiting for okay, so yeah, right now, real quick, guys, I'm just gonna answer questions. If you guys have any questions, of course. If you don't have any questions, then I'll also do the giveaway whatever the case may be. Syringe ordered. Awesome. That's awesome. I need to be an Amazon ambassador too, huh? Um, so yeah, so but yeah, so anybody have any questions on anything? Any comments? Any curiosity about anything? I know a lot of you guys in here are pretty seasoned when it comes to modding and things of that sort. Had a great time. Hopefully Thermaltake and Andy will invite me back for, another episode, and we can get a little bit deeper into some of the other stuff and maybe build a whole loop or something like that. But if you don't guys have any questions, so let me think of let's do this. I gotta think of a question. What question do I have? Because I should have thought about this earlier. I don't know what question to ask, guys. Oh, got you. Got a question for you guys. Yeah, the desk is legit. A better view of my rig? Dang. I don't know how to get a better view without full on moving the camera. Yeah, it would be kind of hard. I have this crazy studio set up over here. And the camera's on a tripod, and the tripod's connected to a cable that's connected to this computer. And I don't want to lose the stream trying to show you. So, if you check out my Instagram or you check out my Facebook, there's pictures of my rig on there. And then for sure hit me up and I can tell you all the details. But I mean, it's i9 9900K with a RTX 2080, and then 360 radiator from Thermaltake up here, with the ring trail fans, and then like I said, the DP100 here, which came out recently from Thermaltake. This is the Thermaltake LED strip that lights up, but it's not lit up right now. And then there is two ring trail 12s here, two ring trail 20s here, all Thermaltake fittings, Thermaltake TF1, PF1. So this is the temperature and flow meter. And then this is actually an EK water block that I have for the CPU, but it covers the MOSFETs and everything. Then 32 gigs of Thermaltake tough RAM, and then I don't know. And I got a ton of hard drives in the back. There's a million hard drives in the back. So can these products be assembled for use of content creation, if I may ask, based on their performance, and will they be able to? Yes. So the this rocks. Yes. So as far as content creation, I'm thinking if you're talking in streaming, yeah, I mean you could definitely stream with all of their products. I'm basically streaming with their products right now. The RAM in here is overclocked to the 3600 megahertz, or clocked. I don't want to say overclocked, but there's a base clock, I guess, on the RAM, which is the 220 or something like that, and so it's kind of somewhat overclocked, but yeah, I mean you could definitely, as far as if you're using this computer for content creation, then yeah, I definitely CPU can be overclocked with this water block. I used this water block for years, had no issues with it. I have it in my other rig that I use right now, so but yeah, same thing. It's all their products, I mean, are totally legit. I mean, I've been a Thermaltake fan since 2009 when I built my first rig, and I was watching JP Modified when YouTube was 2 years old or something like that, and I kind of started figuring everything out for myself and burned up a lot of stuff and broke a lot of stuff, but it's good times though. So with the solo cable of the trio fans, yes, get. I definitely agree with you with the single cable. I have seen some of the other companies. Not that it's a bad thing or anything, but I've seen some of the other companies where they have the PWM cable and then an RGB cable, then an ARGB cable. So for them to do it with just the one plug is awesome. And then you guys can also do, if you guys know about the TT Sync controller, which I should have had it up here so I could show you. But the TT Sync controller will allow you to do 9 fans or 9 devices into the one plug. And then from that one plug, you can do ARGB also. You don't have the extensive functionality as you do as the software, but you still can kind of get that same look without maybe doing 3 plugs all synced together. And then, sometimes, you have space issues and things of that sort. So having multiple plugs in that just kind of gets a little bit of a headache. So depending. Thanks for good. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. Probably still sweating right now because I'm still nervous a little bit because I don't stream. It's not really my thing. But yeah, so my question to you guys for what are the 2 different speeds that I mentioned that come with the water RAM? Hopefully everybody heard me. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm just kind of reading comments right now. There you go. We have a winner. We have a winner. So yes, 3200, 3600. Ronil, Facebook, I would say you are the winner. So awesome job. I'll have somebody reach out to you, or I'll figure out the details as far as reaching out, and then yeah, we'll go ahead and get you all hooked up. So yeah, so let me make sure that we're good with the stream, guys. Yeah, so congratulations again, Ron Neal or X Neal Mod PC. Guys, definitely check him out. He's done some cool stuff on Facebook over there in the Philippines. So, but yeah, congratulations, guys. Hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully Thermaltake invites me back. I actually had a really good time, even though, like I said, I am sweating, but I had a really good time. Really enjoyed myself. And then, like I said, you guys have any questions, feel free to PM me. So, like, again, at PC_Werkz on Instagram, and then PC Werkz on Facebook, and then Timmy Parker on Facebook also. So, yeah. So, thank you guys for sitting here and watching me. Thank you, Thermaltake, for giving this opportunity. Thanks, Sandy, for being very supportive of what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. And then, like I said, guys, in the future, hopefully we can get episode 5 going and all that good stuff. So yeah, and then Thermaltake just said message them to get your prize. So sounds good, guys. And I'm out. Have a good night or have a good day wherever you guys are at in the world. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.